Hello, I am the narrator. And before this episode begins, Maddie and George will be talking about a little creature in our world, as well as in another, that can both heal people. Without further ado, let the show begin. Good morning, everybody. My name is Maddie, and today I'm going to be talking about Palontras. What is it? And did it come from a movie or a video game? Now, this here is Palontras from the game Frambo. If you haven't heard of either, that's okay, because you're in for quite the treat. Oh man, this story plot is brilliant, this character is beautiful. Let's get right in. Okay, so Palontras, he is a doctor from a different world than Frambo's, the little girl that we follow. But basically there's a bunch of these worlds that she has to go through, and one of them is Palontras, which is the second reality. He is a doctor, that is right, and it's mainly because he lives on this island, this floating island that has healing water on it. As you can see here, he is very soft and kind looking, you know. He flies, but he doesn't have any wings. He has little toesies at the front. He's also like brown, pink, white, and green. There's also like material on his tail that symbolize grass, water, and earth, I believe. So that's pretty cool. So that's Palontras. Now, the game Frambo. What is that about? How does he get put into this game? Well, let me just tell you, these plots and the plot twists that it goes through is crazy, so I'm sorry if you can't keep up, and also, like, I can't go further into detail without doing a lot of spoilers. So, here we go. Frambo, this is a little girl that we follow. Her. It starts off with her remembering how her parents were killed. That's right, not died, but killed. I mean, they are dead, but like, you know. So she's been put into the sane asylum to process and heal and, you know, because of mental breakdowns and whatnot, I don't know. I don't know, she's just put in the sane asylum. And was eventually given these drugs, these little red pills that started this off. And basically, every time she ate one, she could basically see this world that overlaps hers, which is by far, terrifying. I mean, there's blood, words written all over the walls, there's like weird corpse animals everywhere, these ghost shadows that are following and hanging on to all these little depressed kids. I mean, it is not a good sight to see. So eventually, after giving those, she starts wandering around the asylum and realizes that she has to escape. She has to go now. She has to find her cat, her little black cat named Mr. Midnight. Well, she escapes, and with pure determination, she goes through this maze and into the sewers, deep into this forest, where she keeps following the clues of where her cat is. And she basically meets up with this giant bug people. Yep. And the funny thing is, it ain't on drugs. She wasn't on drugs when you see them. And she soon realizes, after some of their info, her cat has been taken. So she basically has to find this little house in this, well, where these little twins are. These little pure evil twins have her cat. And, you know, she has to kill the twins, get her cat, and they're sneaking off deeper into the forest where this large, dark creature basically stops them and breaks their bridge, so they're like falling for almost all of eternity right now, into the second reality, which is where Palontras is. And this world is crazy. I mean, everybody is either a plant or a bug. And Frambeau, she's a tree now. Yep. So now she has to go through all of these like side quests and a lot of just like back and forth in order to get all these pieces so that she can first be a girl, like a human, I don't know, and go back into a portal that gets her into her reality. She gets there, and she meets up with this long, lanky creature named Itward, where he finishes her portal taking to eventually her actual world. And this flying teleporting machine, whatnot. But once she gets to her house, she's right there. I mean, she's just so close to getting in. The doctor from her sane asylum yoinks her and takes her on a road trip. Where they're like, little girl, I believe you. We're gonna figure out who killed your parents. So they literally go to the, cemetery where her parents are buried, dig them up, she gets mentally scarred, he's like, I don't got any clues, let's go back. She gets taken by a big, dark, scary creature into this house of madness, which at this point is just pure chaos. I mean, like, there are doors everywhere, like Alice in the Wonderland. I mean, like, all different angles, sizes, color. There's these talking eyeballs and skulls. There's this alien in a bathtub. And then she, like, goes deeper into this craziness, into the heart of the madness, which is a hospital with all these different creatures, to figure out who killed her parents. Sorry, that's what I was trying to say. Who killed her parents? And when she finally had the answer, she snapped. She became so angry, and that got her shot. Yes, you know, out of all of these crazy things, you think, like, the least thing is getting shot by a gun. Yeah. Where, basically, her friends come to her rescue, revive her, because, you know, there's no way she's coming back from that, and take her to a new world where she'll be safe.
The interview. How close is it related to the inspiration?
Hello, I'm Maddie here with the interview, and I'm here with somebody who is quite a fan of Frambeau. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Yes. Hi, my name's Jay. I love the game Frambeau, mainly because of all the theories and, like, new things I can find in that game. Like, there's always these new crazy ideas I can come up with that kind of explain why things happen in that game, you know? Are you familiar with Palontras, the flying doctor? Yes. So, you'll actually see Palontras a few times in the game, actually. The first time you'll see him is whenever Frambeau's a tree and she has to go to him in order to get legs. So he takes her to his pink water where he heals her and gets her arms and legs, as well as explains to her how she's there, how the world is in their world, as well as a little bit of the characteristics of the pink water. The second time you'll see him, actually in his dark form, where, he's like, scary looking, he's got big black wings, and he's fighting all these little shadow creatures in the sky, where you will shortly see him on the ground in his, like, normal form, maybe, like, all bloody and whatnot, cut up. So he looked pretty bad, but he was fine. And then there will be one more time, actually, whenever you see him. It's, like, at the very end of the game, after Frambeau got shot. Palontras showed up and actually revived her and took her back to the second reality where she'll be safe. Oh, yes. Well, thank you for your time. This has been Maddie with the interview. Back to the main show. Okay, Palontras. I bet you $5 I'm not gonna put a picture up of him. But Palontras is inspired by a little creature named the axolotl, which is this thing, you know? And like, yes, mainly it is because of the looks, but I have kind of a theory that because the axolotl is known for like reviving its own limbs and whatnot, that is kind of how inspired the characteristics of Palontras of being a doctor. But that's just my theory. And, yeah. George, your turn. Alright. It's been kind of a long time since I've been a part of one of your episodes. You know? Yeah, it has. But, to be honest, you never know what these movies or games are gonna be inspired by. Yeah, that's true. Good morning, everybody. My name is George. And today we're going to be talking about axolotls.
Information about the animal and what it looks like.
Now, the axolotl is an animal, and there are some very important things you need to know. First of all, it is rapidly dying. I mean, oh boy. And one of the reasons that they're rapidly dying is because of the pollution in the water, as well as many other things. Probably like habitation shrinkage, you know, not enough areas to live. It's kind of funny, but not. You can actually find more axolotls in labs than you do in the wild. And, you know, scientists, they've been studying them for a very long time, and they're watching them, like, their birthing stages, not, like, the axolotls giving birth, but, like, them growing up, they've realized how this disease called, spina, bifida happens. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Might have butchered it, don't care. There's also really cool because they can also see how the cells morph and change inside the embryo stage. So, you know, quote, scientists found that they can watch the axolotl cells squeeze and stretch before they forming tissue. Now, as this episode goes further along, you will find more weirder stuff about the axolotls. Like, one of them is that they can live in temperatures of 70 degrees. It's quite unusual. But let's see. If you take a look at them, you can see they're kind of adorable. They got a bit of a slender-like head, tentacle-like things around their head. They also have very tiny eyes, and as well as like little toesies. They have a tail that mostly takes up their body. And they come in many, many different colors. Which are albino, gray, white, brown albino, golden albino, not bad, tan, and brown. But what is really cool about their body is their bones. They technically don't have bones. Quote, an axolotl's skeleton is compressed mostly of cartilage, which means that the bones are really dense tissue, like your ears. They are made up of cartilage. That's what makes up their shape without bones. Kind of the same with your nose. You know, there's cartilage that make the shape of the dome, so to speak.
Where they live, how long they live, and how do they get their food?
It lives in very, very dirty water, which kind of explains why they are mostly brown or just pale colors. They live in mostly canals, all in Mexico. Which is actually kind of cool that most of their habitat is canals. Because of history. Quote. Aztecs, they built a powerful empire controlled by the island city built in the middle of the lake. As the emperor grew, so did the land. Today, all of the remains of the axolotl's habitat are about 170 kilometers of canals. That is a lot. But that is not all that they can live in. Like I've said, the axolotls, as them, also live in labs, canals, but they can also be pets for people all around the world. Even though they are heavily endangered. The axolotls can also live to about 10 years.
What they eat, and what are their predators? Its scientific name.
They will eat many different things, like bloodworms, crustaceans, baitworms, and small fish. Also, get ready for this. The axolotl's scientific name is Embistois mexicanus.
Its mating habits and some random facts.
When they are 6 to 12 months, that is whenever the axolotl is ready to mate. And the female will lay, well, here, get this, 200 to 1,000 eggs. Oh, what's sitting? Oh boy, she's gonna be there for a while. Also, a little bit of fun facts. In Japan, you can actually find the axolotls fried up, ready to eat. Yes. Although these animals are amphibians, that means they can, go in and out of the water, the axolotls never come out of the water, even though they have lungs. Which is bizarre. I know. I think this is probably the hardest thing for people to comprehend, but axolotls are technically bigger and smaller than humans. Quote, axolotls have large cells that simplify investigating into development. Their eggs are about 30 times larger than humans. And in an axolotl's embryo, the neural plate cells, a precursor to the brain and spinal cord, are about 600 times larger by volume. Which basically means that all the cells that were just mentioned in the axolotls are larger than the cells in the human that make up those organs, like the brain and the spinal cord.
The difference between male and female, and what is it related to?
The axolotl is closely related to salamanders.
Questions.
Now, I have a question here. It's probably a really good one, so pay attention. Quote, Why are there so many axolotls in labs? Well, if you've caught on the fact that there are more axolotls in labs than in the wild, it's because of one particular thing, and I have a quote that will answer it in probably one sentence. Here we go. Thanks to its unique physiological and remarkable ability to regenerate severed limbs, the axolotl has became an important lab model for everything from tissue repairs to development and cancer. A really great example of that is in 2011, when scientists were finally able to stop the spread of cancer in the breast cancer, which was probably a great impact, and they are continuing to research this animal for more DNA hacks to cure cancer. So, unfortunately, this is the end of the episode. If you are fascinated by Palontras as well as the axolotl, there are links in the description that go more into detail about all of the information we found about them. If you've enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and have a nice day. Good night. I will most definitely have bloopers because I'm feeling crazy. Oh yeah, oh my gosh. That's like somebody talking about their best acid trip they've ever experienced. I mean, goodness. What in that entire game was real and was fake? I couldn't tell you. Maybe all of it was real. Maybe all of it was fake. I don't know. There's just... Number 3 is the interview, so I'm skipping that. Oh my gosh. I'm like, what? Her best friend is a cat named Mr. Midnight and Itward, who's like a voodoo god. And that is actually it. There isn't much information on Palontras, but more of axolotl. Yeah. I know, it's crazy. Can I just take a moment of your time and talk about Palontras? Okay, great. I'm glad you understand. I don't even know. Okay, never. You know what? Greetings there, mortal. I'm gonna be talking to George. Can you handle that? I hope so. Okay. Don't be weird. Okay? This is in front of an audience. Okay. Did I scare you, editor? Hmm? I bet not. I am the doctor. No. Ha ha ha. I almost stole your identity. Nope. I am George. Cool it, buddy. Try to trip me. What a hooligan. Okay. Which is also kind of weird, because if they have tissue for bones, does that mean they're very mendable? Like, can you just take one and just go wee, wee, and then just wee? That is animal abuse. I am a zoologist and I'm an animal abuser. I'm gonna go drink some water. I'm gonna go drink some vinegar. But think about it. Are you done thinking about it? Good. I'm not done thinking about it. It's quite fascinating. Cartilage for bones. Boop. Excuse me. It lives in very dirty water. They're not very clean. No. That explains why they're almost always brown. Or pale. Dude, there's history in this. Aztecs. My man. I don't know if you know this, but they are like the Bob the Builders of their time. I mean, Bob the Builder, whew, he's pretty big, he's pretty good, but he ain't that good of a builder compared to the Aztecs. I must become an animal to survive. candy. Excuse you. God bless America. Yeah, that's a firework. You know what's the craziest thing? Many things. But my mustache, it's on fleek right now. And I can't drink out of a small bottle. my mirror. Anyways, enough babbling. You cannot handle my secrets. For my secrets, it's impeccable. Like this beautiful luscious hair, Dawn. Mr. Clean. Have you seen his hair? Perfecto. Did you guys catch it? I did it on my own without doctor. That's right. Right. You never thought you would see the day where I'd memorize their scientific name. You thought wrong. Shame on you. I thought you had faith in me. My condition is getting better. But I'll leave in 6 months. To 1,000 eggs in one sitting. Good goodness me. Oh, gee willikers. She has the gonorrhea. This is how I move on from something that's being awkward. Okay, the axolotl is closely related to salamanders. This is the end of the video. End of the video. End of the video. Pew pew. End of the video. End of the video. This is the end of the video. Pew pew. Pew pew. Pew pew. End of the video. End of the video. End of the video. Oh oh.